The scream does not echo upward. It is swallowed, dragged down into the stone as the floor of the mine shaft simply vanishes beneath the miner's boots. Lantern light spins, a golden comet tumbling into blackness. His pickaxe clatters against rock. Then there is silence, broken only by an inhuman, layered hiss from below, and the slow, deliberate thud of something impossibly heavy waking in the dark. If you enjoy these deep dive what-if stories in Minecraft, tap like and subscribe so you do not miss the next timeline. Tell in the comments which biome you would defend if the darkness rose everywhere, and where in the world you are watching from. The miner's name is Ryan, and he is not the first to fall. Across this world, every cave mouth yawns a little wider tonight. Narrow fissures in tiger hills, flooded caverns beneath warm oceans, dripstone shafts in the Badlands. Each one hides the same impossible truth. Every tunnel, every ravine, every downward path now bends subtly and then brutally toward an ancient city. The change begins so quietly that no one notices. In a spruce village at the edge of a snowy mountain range, a young builder named Lysa marks a new quarry on her map. She wants deep slate for her walls, amethyst for her windows. Her iron armor is dented, her shield cracked, but the day is bright, and the cave she chooses is only a dark scar in the hillside, breathing cold air. She lights a torch. In a desert settlement days away, a cleric named Sarum descends a sandstone stairway into a well. He has heard rumors from wandering traders, strange chests, ancient books, enchanted gear beyond anything villagers craft. He believes the stories are exaggerated. Yet he feels a pull, a hum in the stone, like a heartbeat just beyond hearing. He lights a torch. Far to the north, in a windswept tundra, a wandering trader leads his llamas into a shallow cave to escape a snowstorm. He ties them to a fence post he places hastily, muttering about phantoms and frostbite. He has no torch. Only the faint glow of a single sea lantern in his pack paints the ice with bluish light. He does not notice that the cave floor slopes down far more steeply than it did yesterday. The world itself has shifted, not on the surface, but underneath. Once, ancient cities were rare, secret scars in the bedrock where the deep dark coiled in silence. Now something has spread their pattern like rot in wood. The skulk veins have grown greedy. They have reached up, fingers through gravel and stone, and caught every natural cave system in their grasp. Every descent is now a path to a forgotten metropolis. Ryan lies at the bottom of his fall, breath knocked out of him. His lantern lies cracked beside him, its light dim and flickering. For a moment, he thinks he is dead. Then the pain arrives, hot and sharp in his leg. He groans, pushes himself upright, and sees blue. Not the blue of water, nor the sky. The blue of skulk, pulsing faintly along the floor like veins of frozen lightning. He has heard of this. Everyone has. Stories told by returning adventurers, half whispered in taverns. Deep dark. Do not make noise. Do not run. If you see 4 shrieking towers of bone and skulk, turn back. Ryan is alone, deep underground, with a broken leg and a lantern that is dying. He hears a low, wet crackle, like sap boiling inside a burning log. The skulk around his boot stirs, as if tasting him. Far above, on the surface, the first wave of disappearances has already begun. Lisa descends carefully, placing torches along the walls of her quarry like a trail of fireflies. The cave is generous. Coal veins, iron, even a hint of copper glint in her torchlight. The air grows cooler, damper. She hums under her breath, a village song about wheat fields and rain. After 10 minutes, she frowns. The cave has stopped branching. Where she expects narrow side tunnels, there is only one broad passage sloping down. She tests the walls with her pickaxe. Solid. No hidden fissures. The stone feels smoothed, as if water carved it. Yet the pattern is wrong. Too regular. Too intentional. The hum in the stone grows louder. Sarum, deep beneath the desert, reaches a flooded cavern. He wades through waist-deep water, the torch held high. The reflections on the surface are wrong. They shimmer not with the orange of his flame, but with dim cyan, like submerged starlight. His sandals touch stone again. He steps out of the water onto a ridge lined with something soft and spongy. Skulk. It spreads from a central point, crawling along the cavern floor, wrapping around stalagmites in a slow, suffocating embrace. He knows what that means. There should be an ancient city far below, yet he has not descended far enough. He should be at Y level 50, maybe 40. Instead, his compass spins lazily and his ears pop as if he has dropped hundreds of blocks. The math does not work. The world has cheated. He presses on. On the surface, as sunset bleeds across the plains, a group of players gathers in a fortified oak village. This is the hub, a sprawling base ringed with cobblestone walls, iron golems patrolling like silent sentries. Farms ripple in neat rows. Nether portals hum like distant thunder. At the center, by a campfire, 3 friends argue. Jarrow, a redstone engineer with soot on his face, slams a map down. Look at this. Every cave we have marked in the last 3 days, every ravine, every dripstone pit, all of them end here. He taps a dark cluster of symbols, all stacked on the same coordinates. Mira, a ranger in green leather, leans closer. Her eyes narrow. That is impossible. Ancient cities do not spawn that close together. They do not, Jarrow agrees, unless the rules have changed. The third, Keith, a quiet builder with a diamond pickaxe worn nearly to nothing, stares into the fire. Rayon went into a cave this morning, he says softly. He has not come back. For a moment, only the crackle of burning logs answers. Mira straightens, hand on her bow. Then we go after him. Jarrow hesitates. If the deep dark has spread, if every cave is connected to those cities now, we are not talking about one warden. We are talking about hundreds, thousands. Rayon went down there alone. Mira's voice is steady, but her jaw is clenched. We are not leaving him. Keth lifts his eyes from the fire. There is something in them Jarrow has not seen before. Resolve and a hint of fear. If the caves have changed, the world has changed. We need to know why. They do not know that, as they prepare, similar conversations are happening in dozens of villages. A farmer in a swamp biome, waiting for her son to return from a quick coal run, stares at the cave mouth as night falls and hears nothing but frogs and the distant groan of drowned. A blacksmith in a savannah sharpens an iron sword, listening to a wandering trader describe how his llamas refused to go deeper into a cave, pulling at their leads until they snapped. A librarian in a mountain monastery flips through enchanted tomes about the warden, ancient cities, and the deep dark, realizing there is no chapter for when it spreads everywhere. In the cave where Rayon lies, the lantern finally dies. Darkness pours in, thick and absolute. He breathes shallowly, biting back a cry as pain flares in his leg. He tears a strip from his tunic, binds it as best he can. His hands shake. Somewhere to his left, something shifts, slow and heavy, like stone grinding against stone. He does not move. He listens. He hears the heartbeat. A deep, distant thump, like a giant fist hitting bedrock. It vibrates through the skulk, through his bones. Once, twice, closer. He remembers the stories. The warden is blind. It hunts sound. Stay still. Stay silent. He clamps a hand over his mouth, even though he is not making a noise. A shrieker blossoms to life a few blocks away, a column of bone and skulk unfolding like a flower made of teeth. It screams, a sound that is not sound, more sensation than noise. The darkness deepens somehow. The heartbeat quickens. He feels the air pressure change as something enormous pushes up from the skulk. Far away, Lisa's torch flickers as she steps into a vast chamber. It is not yet an ancient city, but it is its echo. The ceiling arches high above, lost in shadow. The floor is a patchwork of stone and skulk. In the distance, faintly, she sees the outline of carved stone bricks, a staircase descending into deeper night. She stops, breath catching. She has built towers and bridges, watched sunsets from mountain peaks. But this feels older than the world she knows, as if she has stepped into someone else's memory. She places a torch on the wall. The light flares, then dulls, as if the darkness resents it. Her footsteps sound too loud. She forces herself to move slowly, to breathe evenly. She has heard that the warden can sense heartbeat. She wonders, briefly, if that is just a story. Her question is answered when the skulk catalyst at the chamber's center pulses, and a shrieker unfurls nearby, its mouth opening in a silent, waiting howl. She freezes, torchlight trembling in her hand. In the desert, Sarum finds the first city. He stands at the edge of a broken stone bridge, staring down at a metropolis drowned in darkness. Towering arches, collapsed towers, streets choked with skulk. Blue fire burns in soul lanterns, their ghostly light casting everything in cold, mournful hues. He has read legends of civilizations that dug too deep. He thought them allegories, warnings against greed. Now he sees their bones. He descends. His sandals whisper against wool blocks laid carefully along the stairs, ancient attempts to muffle sound. His torch crackles. He passes carved pillars, chest after chest half buried in skulk. He wants to open them. He forces himself not to. He is here to learn, not to loot. At the city's center, he finds something wrong. The central hall, where a portal frame stands in most cities, is different. The frame is there. Obsidian and reinforced deep slate house forming a ring like a closed eye. But the portal is not dark. It glows faintly, not purple like the nether, but a deep, shifting blue, as if the void itself is thinking. Skulk veins crawl from the portal into the walls, up through the ceiling, vanishing into the stone above. Sarum feels his skin crawl. This is the source. On the surface, in the hub village, Jaro, Mira, and Keth stand at the edge of a ravine that was once familiar. They have descended this ravine dozens of times. They know its twists, its ore veins, its lava pools. But now, as their torches spill light over the edge, they see that the bottom has changed. The floor has collapsed, eaten away by skulk. A yawning chasm opens where bedrock should be. Faint cyan light pulses far below, in a pattern that matches the maps Jaro spread on the table. Every cave, Jaro murmurs. Every single one. They all lead to this. Mira knocks an arrow, more for comfort than for use. We go down, she says. We find Ryan. We find out what did this. Keth checks his inventory. Potions of night vision and healing, stacks of wool, a handful of snowballs. His voice is quiet. And if we find more than one warden? Mira does not answer. They descend, placing wool blocks under their feet, building a spiral of silence into the deep dark. Across the world, others are descending too. A group of miners in the Badlands, laughing nervously as they follow an old shaft that now slopes deeper than they remember. A solitary speedrunner in a jungle, curious and impatient, diving into a lush cave that pulses with unnatural blue light. A pair of siblings on a mushroom island, convinced they are safe from everything, stepping into a cave that was once shallow and harmless. Each path bends, twists, and finally opens into skulk-lined chambers that all share the same distant heartbeat. The wardens are waking. In the darkness where Ryan lies, the first warden emerges. It rises from the skulk like a nightmare given weight, its torso a mass of muscle and bone, its chest cavity glowing with the same blue as the skulk. Its head has no eyes, only horn-like growths and a gaping maw that seems designed for nothing but roaring. It sniffs the air. Ryan does not breathe. The heartbeat in its chest thrums, matching his own, then overpowering it. It turns, slow and deliberate, toward the broken lantern. Its hands, massive and clawed, brush the ground. It takes one step, then another, each footfall a muffled quake. It passes within 3 blocks of Ryan. He can smell it. Damp stone, rot, something like ozone before a storm. His lungs burn. He holds still until blackness creeps in at the edges of his vision. The warden pauses. Its head tilts as if listening to something Ryan cannot hear. Then, with a low, rumbling growl, it moves away, deeper into the tunnels that now all lead to its kingdom. Ryan finally exhales, silently sobbing. He is alive, for now. In Lisa's chamber, the shrieker trembles, sensing the disturbance of her torch placement. It inhales, ready to scream. Lisa acts on instinct. She slams a block of wool down over it. The sound dies in its throat, smothered. The skulk around it pulses angrily, but no warden rises. She stands there, hand pressed to the wool, heart hammering. So the stories were true, she whispers to herself. Silence saves. She looks toward the distant staircase, where the carved stone bricks descend into the city she now knows is waiting. She should turn back. Instead, she marks the wall with a single oak plank, a sign to herself, and moves forward. Curiosity and fear walk side by side. In the desert city, Sarim circles the glowing portal. He keeps a careful distance, noting the way the skulk veins thicken near it, how the air feels colder, heavier. The blue within the frame shifts, patterns forming and dissolving like words in a language he almost understands. He speaks aloud, softly, as if addressing a patient in his temple. If you are the source, then you are not just a gateway. You are a wound. He pulls a book and quill from his satchel and begins to write, hands steady despite the tremor in his chest. He records the portal's color, its hum, the direction of the skulk growth. He sketches the city layout, marking where shriekers cluster more densely. He does not notice the faint outline of a figure on the other side of the portal, watching. Back in the hub village, above ground, the world is changing in ways that even those who never enter caves can feel. Animals grow restless at night, refusing to graze near cave mouths. Wolves whine and back away from ravines, tails tucked. Cats hiss at seemingly empty patches of ground where skulk spreads just below the surface. Villagers report hearing heartbeats beneath their feet when they stand still too long. Iron golems, once unbothered by underground threats, now pause at the edges of wells and mine shafts, staring down as if they sense something their simple minds cannot name. The sky remains the same, blue and bright by day, star-scattered by night. But for those who listen, the world hums with a new, unsettling note. Jarrow, Mira, and Keth reach the threshold of their first ancient city. Their night vision potions paint everything in ghostly clarity. The city sprawls before them, larger than any Jarrow has seen in screenshots or streams. It stretches beyond their render distance, arches vanishing into darkness, towers broken and leaning like teeth. Mira's voice is a whisper. "How many of these are there?" Keth answers without looking away. "Every cave leads to one, so as many caves as there are." They move along wool-lined paths, careful, deliberate. Their boots make no sound. Jarrow's redstone mind ticks, mapping shrieker clusters, skulk sensors, safe routes. Mira's ranger instincts track shadows, possible ambush points. Keth watches the architecture, the story in the stone. They find signs of others. A broken shield near a chest, its owner gone. A trail of torches leading to a collapsed bridge. A wool path that ends abruptly at a crater of skulk, as if something erupted from below. Mira kneels at the broken shield, fingers tracing the pattern. "This is from the swamp village," she says. "They sent a party last week." Jarrow swallows. "They did not come back." Keth's voice is flat. "We will." They press deeper. In another city, far beneath the tundra, the wandering trader sits on a carved stone step, hugging his knees. He lost his llamas hours ago. They bolted when the first warden roared, their leads snapping like string. He ran, stumbling, hiding behind pillars, ducking under wool awnings left by some previous explorer. Now, he is alone. His lantern flickering, his inventory full of things that will not help him. Coral fans, bucket of tropical fish, a single pufferfish in a bucket that stares at him accusingly. He laughs, the sound high and brittle. It echoes too loud. A skulk sensor nearby twitches. The trader claps a hand over his mouth too late. The shrieker beside it unfolds. He squeezes his eyes shut as the scream tears through the city, as the darkness thickens, as the heartbeat rises from the floor. "I am sorry," he whispers to the empty air. "I am so sorry." The warden that answers does not care. Above, on the surface, the first coordinated response is forming. Messages travel by written notes, by hurried visits between villages, by hurried traders who risk the night to carry news. The pattern becomes clear. Every cave, regardless of biome or distance, now connects to an ancient city. The deep dark is no longer a rare biome. It is a second world beneath their feet. Leaders gather in the hub village, mayors, guildmasters, lone wanderers with valuable knowledge. They stand around a large map table, the surface cluttered with markers indicating known cave entrances. Mira's voice carries over the murmurs. "We cannot treat this as a curiosity. This is a siege from below." A farmer from the plains protests. "We just stopped going into caves. We have enough iron, enough coal. We build up, not down." Jarrow shakes his head. Skulk spreads. It eats experience, life, sound. If the cities are all connected, the wardens can move between them. Today they are under mountains. Tomorrow they are under your wheat fields. Saram's report arrives, carried by a winded messenger. His notes on the glowing portal are read aloud. "A source," Keth says softly. "A wound." Mira looks at the map, at the dense cluster of cave markers. "Then we need a needle." The plan that forms is desperate and thin. Teams will enter multiple caves at once, converging on different ancient cities, seeking portals like the ones Saram found. They will gather data, test theories. Can the skulk be burned? Can portals be broken? Can wardens be trapped? They will not try to fight the wardens directly. That way lies death. They will try to understand the rules of this new world and bend them. Ryan, still trapped in the dark, has discovered one such rule. He has not moved more than a few blocks since the warden passed. His leg throbs. He is thirsty, lightheaded, but he has one advantage. His inventory. He fumbles for wool, places it. The soft, muffled sound of block placement seems swallowed instantly. He inches forward, building a narrow, silent path, one block at a time. He does not know where he is going, only that staying means dying. He inches toward a faint, distant glow. Lysa, deeper in her city, finds something the others have not. In a side chamber off the main avenue, she discovers a mural carved into deep slate. It is worn, partially covered in skulk, but some shapes remain. Figures, tall and robed, stand around a ring that looks like the glowing portal Sarim described. Above them, jagged lines descend, like lightning or roots. She brushes skulk away with a gloved hand. More detail emerges. The figures are not summoning the portal. They are pushing it closed. Their faces, stylized but clear, show fear. Beneath the mural, in an ancient script, are words that Lysa cannot read, but recognizes from enchanted books. A warning. She feels a chill. The portal was not their triumph, it was their mistake. In the desert, Sarim tests the portal. He tosses a torch through. It vanishes, swallowed without a ripple. He listens. No sound returns, no light, only the steady, patient hum. He takes a deep breath, then places his hand on the reinforced deep slate frame. It is cold, so cold his skin burns. He yanks his hand back, hissing. Frost blooms on the stone where he touched it, then is devoured by skulk. He writes, "Frame cannot be broken by hand. Reinforced. Portal consumes matter, not just allows passage. Destination unknown." He pauses, quill hovering. "Why did they build you?" he murmurs. "Or did you build yourself?" The portal does not answer. In the hub village, as teams gear up, Keth pulls Mira aside. "What if we are wrong?" he asks. "What if breaking the portals makes it worse?" Mira checks her quiver, fingers brushing each arrow. "What if leaving them makes it worse?" He smiles without humor. "So we choose which unknown we prefer." She meets his eyes. "We choose the one where we act." He nods, shoulders squaring. "Then we go." They descend again, this time not as rescue party, but as surgeons approaching a tumor in the world's bedrock. The escalation is not linear, it is exponential. As more players enter more caves, more wardens wake. Their roars shake underground lakes, sending ripples to the surface. Skulk spreads faster, feeding on the experience of the fallen. Entire mine shafts are swallowed overnight, their wooden supports jutting from skulk like broken ribs. Villages near large cave systems begin to experience tremors. Wells crack. Crops fail in patches where skulk tendrils brush the soil from below. Children wake screaming, claiming they heard something breathing under their beds. The deep dark is no longer a place. It is an infection. Yet in the midst of this, small victories flicker. Lysa discovers that carefully placed wool and carpets can create safe corridors through even the densest skulk fields. She maps a route from her village cave to the city's heart, then back again, without summoning a single warden. She returns to the surface, exhausted, eyes wide with the enormity of what she has seen. Her village gathers around her as she unrolls her map on a hay bale. Her voice is hoarse, but steady. "We can move down there," she says, carefully, quietly. "We can reach the cities without waking them." A fisherman scoffs. "Why would we want to?" "Because," Lysa answers, tapping the map where the city's central hall is marked. "This is where the portals are, and if we do not close them, the skulk will not stop." Sarum sends more reports. He has found 3 portals now in 3 different cities, all glowing the same unnatural blue, all feeding the skulk veins above. He notes that the portals pulse in unison, as if connected. He begins to suspect that they are not many doors, but many mouths of the same creature. Jaro, in his city, tests redstone against skulk. He builds a contraption in a side hall far from shriekers. Pistons, observers, note blocks. He triggers a sequence, watching how the skulk sensors respond. Some frequencies seem to agitate them more than others. He logs everything. "If we can find the frequency that calms them," he tells Keth, "maybe we can create safe zones, or distract them." Keth, watching the distant silhouette of a warden patrolling a street, shakes his head. "You want to build a lullaby for monsters." Jaro's mouth twists. "I want us to live." Above, on the surface, the first casualties become names, then stories, then warnings. The wandering trader's llamas return to the tundra village without him, leads trailing, eyes rolling with remembered terror. His story is pieced together from the items they carry, from the faint trail of wool blocks that ends at a crater of skulk. In the swamp village, the party that descended days ago is declared lost. Their families place candles at the cave mouth. At night, the candles flicker blue. Ryan, against all odds, reaches an ancient city. His wool path leads him to the edge of a broad avenue. He crawls onto it, panting, legs screaming. His night vision potion wore off long ago. He sees only faint shapes and the pulsing blue of skulk. He hears the heartbeat, louder now, multiplied. He realizes he is not in any of the cities the others have found. This one is different. The architecture is more intact. Towers stand whole. Bridges span chasms without breaks. Soul lanterns burn in neat rows. At the center, instead of one portal, there are 3, arranged in a triangle, all glowing, all feeding skulk veins that climb the walls like invasive vines. Ryan laughs once, a short, broken sound. "Of course," he whispers. "I find the worst one." He does not know that this city, this nexus, sits directly beneath the hub village. Mera's team is heading straight toward him. The climax approaches not as a single battle, but as a convergence. Multiple teams in multiple cities reach their portals within the same span of hours. Lysa stands before hers, wool path behind her like a lifeline. Sarum stands before his, quill tucked away, hands empty. Jaro, Mera, and Keth stand at the edge of the Nexus chamber, staring at the 3 portals and the web of skulk they feed. Ryan lies half-hidden behind a pillar, watching them with disbelieving relief. "Mera," he croaks, voice raw. She spins, bow half-raised, then lowers it so fast it almost slips from her hand. "Ryan." They reach him in 3 silent strides, Keth already pulling out a healing potion, Jaro scanning the room for shriekers. "Every cave," Ryan manages, "leads here." Jaro shakes his head. "Not just here, everywhere. These portals are connected." Sarum thinks they are one thing. Mira's gaze fixes on the nearest portal, its blue depths swirling slowly. "Then we hurt it." "How?" Keth asks. "We cannot break reinforced deep slate. We cannot outfight the wardens. We cannot even see what is on the other side. Mira's answer is simple. We give it more than it can eat. The plan they form is insane. Jarrow wires note blocks, pistons, and redstone torches around the chamber, creating a device that will trigger every shrieker in the city at once. Lisa, in her city, does the same on a smaller scale, guided by hastily scribbled instructions sent via messenger. Sarem, in his desert city, prepares potions and records final notes. When the devices trigger, hundreds of wardens will rise. They will converge on the portals drawn by the cacophony. If the portals are mouths, they will be forced to swallow their own guardians. It is not a plan to win. It is a plan to wound. As they work, the emotional weight settles. Rian, legs splintered, leans against a pillar, watching his friends move with grim efficiency. If this goes wrong, he says quietly, the wardens will tear this city apart. They will tear you apart. Mira does not look at him. If we do nothing, they will tear the world apart. Keth pauses, hand on a redstone torch. Maybe they already have. Maybe we are just late to notice. Jarrow snorts softly. Then let us be late and loud. Above, on the surface, the sky is clear. Villagers go about their routines with forced normalcy. Children play near fences, kept away from cave mouths by watchful eyes. Iron golems patrol. The heartbeat beneath the ground is a constant, distant drum. In the tundra, the wandering traders' llamas stare at a patch of snow that occasionally pulses blue. In the swamp, candles flicker by a cave, their flames bending as if in a wind from below. In the hub village, the campfire where Jarrow slammed his map earlier burns low, unattended. In the Nexus city, the device's arm. Mira takes a deep breath, hand hovering over the final lever. She looks at each of them in turn. Jarrow, jaw set. Keth, eyes distant but steady. Rian, pale but resolute. If we make it back, she says, the world will not be the same. Keth nods. If we do not, at least it will know we tried. Jarrow glances at the portals. I would prefer to make it back. They share a brief, strained smile. Mira pulls the lever. In an instant, sound rips through the deep dark. Note blocks hammer, pistons slam, redstone torches flicker in manic patterns. Every shrieker in the chamber and beyond screams, their howls overlapping into a single cataclysmic wail. The darkness surges. Wardens erupt from the skulk like nightmares blooming. 1, 5, 10, 20. Their heartbeats sink, a thunder that shakes dust from the ceiling. They turn, heads swiveling, drawn toward the epicenter of the noise, the portals. At the same time, in Lisa's city, a smaller device triggers. Wardens rise there too, lumbering toward the portal she has marked. In Sarem's city, he stands before his portal as the first warden emerges behind him, its growl vibrating his spine. He whispers a prayer. Forgive us for repeating your mistake. The wardens charge. They are blind, but the portals hum with a sound beyond sound. They move like predators toward a wounded animal. Their massive frames slam into the reinforced deep slate. Claws rake the frame. Their chests glow brighter, their heartbeats spiking. The portals react. The blue within them churns violently, patterns fracturing. Skulk veins on the walls writhe. The air grows colder, then unbearably hot. A low, subsonic groan fills the cities, as if the bedrock itself is protesting. One by one, the wardens nearest the portals are pulled forward. Not through, but into. Their bodies stretch, distort, their forms unraveling into streams of blue light that the portals drink greedily, their roars cut off mid-bellow. For a moment, it seems the portals are satisfied. their glow stabilizing. Then they pulse. Once, twice. The skulk veins feeding them surge, then retract. Across the world, players in caves feel it. A tug, like the ocean pulling back before a tidal wave. The portals exhale. A shock wave of blue energy blasts outward from each portal, racing along skulk veins, up through stone, into every connected cave. Torches flicker and die. Redstone contraptions short out. Wool disintegrates into ash. In the Nexus City, Mira, Jaro, Keth, and Ryan are thrown to the ground, ears ringing, vision white. Wardens roar, enraged, disoriented. The portal's glow shifts from deep blue to a pale, flickering cyan. Saram, knocked to his knees in the desert city, blinks through tears as he sees something impossible. The portal's frame cracks. A hairline fracture runs through the reinforced deep slate, glowing bright, then dim. The portal's surface stutters, collapsing inward like a dying star. He scrambles to his feet, heart pounding. It worked, he breathes. It actually worked. In Lysa's city, the portal flickers, then goes dark entirely. The skulk around it turns dull, lifeless. Wardens, half emerged, sink back into the ground, their forms dissolving. She stands alone in the sudden, heavy silence. Above, on the surface, the heartbeat stops. For the first time in days, the world is truly quiet. Villagers pause mid-step, mid-sentence. Animals lift their heads. The air feels lighter, as if a pressure has been lifted. In the hub village, the campfire's smoke rises straight into a sky that suddenly seems wider. In the Nexus City, the aftermath is not triumph, but stunned disbelief. Mira pushes herself up, ears ringing. The portals before her flicker, their light guttering. Cracks spiderweb through the frames. Skulk veins hang limp from the walls, no longer pulsing. Jaro staggers to his feet, clutching his head. Did we? Keth finishes for him. Wound it. Rian, still on the ground, laughs weakly. You broke the world's teeth. Around them, wardens thrash, confused. Some sink back into the skulk. Others stumble blindly, their heartbeats erratic. Without the steady hum of the portals, they seem less certain, less anchored. Mira's instincts scream at her. We go, she says. Now. They retreat along their wool path, half burned but still passable. Behind them, the city groans. Chunks of ceiling fall. Cracks open in the streets. The portals flicker one last time, then go dark, their blue lights snuffed like candles. In cities across the world, the same thing happens. Portals die. Skulk veins recede, shrinking away from the surface. Wardens, cut off from their source, sink into hibernation or wander aimlessly in forgotten halls. The deep dark does not vanish, but it stops growing. On the surface, the New World Order emerges slowly. Villages ring their cave mouths with wool and lanterns, marking them as dangerous but not forbidden. Expeditions are planned, not for greed, but for maintenance. The deep dark is now a hazardous infrastructure they must monitor, like a cracked dam. Lisa becomes a mapper of subterranean routes, her wool paths copied and shared between settlements. Saram becomes the leading scholar of portals and skulk, his notes treated as scripture. Jaro and Keth refine their redstone lullabies, building devices that can calm shriekers or, in emergencies, trigger controlled warden awakenings to defend against raids. Mira leads a new kind of patrol, not on the walls of the village, but along the edges of the deep dark, ensuring no new portals have formed. Ryan walks with a limp, a reminder of the day he lay in the dark and listened to a monster breathe. He spends more time above ground now, tending crops, fixing roofs. Yet sometimes, at dusk, he stands at the ravine's edge and stares down into the shadows. He does not hate the deep dark. He fears it, respects it, understands that it is part of their world now. In far biomes, where news travels slowly, some still descend into caves unaware of the change that nearly consumed everything. They find ancient cities that are quieter than the stories suggest, their portals dead, their skulk inert. They loot and leave, thinking themselves lucky. They do not feel the faint tremor that runs through the bedrock once every few nights, because the wound is not entirely healed. In a forgotten city beneath a distant ocean, one portal remains. It flickers weakly, its frame cracked but not broken. Skulk veins around it twitch, as if trying to remember how to grow. The blue within the frame is dim, but not gone. It shifts, slow and patient. On the other side, something waits. It has lost many mouths. It has lost many eyes. It has learned that this world fights back. It is in no hurry. Above, on the surface, the world rebuilds. Children play again near cave mouths, though never too close. Villagers tell stories of the time every cave led to an ancient city, of the heartbeat beneath their feet, of the day the portals cracked. They speak of it as a victory. At night, when the wind is still, if one stands very quietly at the edge of a ravine and listens not with ears but with bones, there is a sound, so faint it might be imagination. A single distant heartbeat, waiting for the silence to grow deep enough to answer it.